Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Live Younger with Shelley. Have you ever faced a moment where you needed to find your strength when life got a little bit heavy? Just last week, actually 2 weeks ago, I attended a conference where I had the privilege to hear Amy Cuddy. She's the author of Presence, Bringing Your Boldest Self to Your Biggest Challenges. Her talk was incredible and very inspiring to me, and it really touched my heart personally. She shared how the way we hold ourselves, our posture, our presence, our energy can actually transform how we think, feel, and show up in the world. I left the room really inspired, and I immediately began practicing the power pose myself. So I want to show you guys a short clip with her speaking. So if you just give me a second, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, let me go ahead and open that up. Just give me a second here.
The personal
Okay,
power
here she is.
isn't about outshining others. It's about keeping your own light alive and bright enough to help others find their light. And this is the last story I'm going to leave you with. I talked a bit about animals, and because our nervous systems are not necessarily consciously operating. We're not in full control of them all the time, as animals are. I got an email from a woman who said, I am a horse trainer, and I use your TED Talk with my horses, which I thought was strange. So I dug a little more. She trains horses that are having anxiety and real issues after medical problems. These are all Icelandic ponies. She was working with a horse called Vafi, V-A-F-I, who she said would not interact with the other horses. He was rubbing the fur off his forehead against the fences, and she said, I knew I had to get him to power pose. I was like, well, I don't get, I love animals, but I didn't grow up with horses, and I don't really understand, I didn't understand. She said, look, horses play like tiger cubs or kittens or puppies. They rear and pounce. They emulate the airs and graces of other powerful horses. And that's how they connect with each other. So if he won't do that, he won't interact with the other horses, he's not going to heal well. So she said, I made this giant cat toy. You can see there's a stick with a kind of wire and a ball on the end. For 2 afternoons, she ran around the pasture and had Vafi chase this. And it caused him to emulate those behaviors, those power poses. She said, I did not expect it to do much. I just thought at the very least I'd be giving him exercise. But when I put him back out with the other horses, he became the most powerful, dominant horse in the group. And he went on to go to competitions and win competitions. So she tells me this story, and I said, I love that the personal power isn't about outshining others. It's about keeping your own light alive and bright enough to help others find their light. And this is the last story I'm going to leave you with. I talked a bit about animals, and because our nervous systems are not necessarily consciously.
So what do you guys think? It's a really touching story. Um, in her presentations, she talks about how posture doesn't just influence how others see us, it also changes how we see ourselves. She teaches that when we hold expansion, open posture, what she calls power pose, it can increase feelings of confidence, presence, and calm before big moments like an interview, a presentation, or even a really hard conversation. She often says, don't fake it till you make it, fake it till you become it. Meaning, if you act confident your body and mind eventually will align with that truth. Her message hit me very deeply. I could totally relate to her. About 7 years ago, I experienced a life changing accident that caused head trauma um, that left my life pretty much lack of confidence, strength, and even my faith. Um, Listening to Amy share her story um, just reminded me of my own journey of finding um, power again when it feels like it's gone. I've just started implementing the power of the pose daily, especially during difficult moments, and it's already helping me to stay grounded and strong. When you stand tall, lift up your chin, open up your chest. You have an incredible reminder that you do not stand alone. So it's almost like the pose like Wonder Woman does. So you have, your hands on your hips, your head's up high, your legs are spread apart. Um, so in her research, she also shows that when we hold a strong pose for even 2 minutes, our body chemistry shifts, lowering stress hormones and increasing confidence hormones. I think that's totally amazing. I was blown away when I saw just how quickly it works. A simple change in how we stand can change how we show up. So, but beyond science, I believe it's also a spiritual act, a way to remind ourselves that we are not powerless, that God has equipped us with strength and peace, even when life feels uncertain. So today, I challenge you, I invite you to try this power of the pose. Stand up, plant your feet, hands on your hips, lift your chin, just like Wonder Woman and or any superhero for that matter for you guys. Feel that shift. That's your power, your presence, your awakening. Confidence doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you choose to stand strong and just be there and hold your presence. Confidence doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you choose to be strong. And I'm so thankful for Amy's message and for the reminder that sometimes the smallest shift can create the biggest change. So I asked you, if you do try this, please let me know, comment below. Um, and if you're ready to start today, let me know. I'm so glad you joined me today. I wanted to share this nice little message with you. I hope it helps somebody. Um, so let's rise together with faith, strength, and presence. Take care for now, and I will see you next time. Have a great, blessed day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.